What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Today we're talking all about the HOKA MAFATE Speed 4. These are some of my favorite trail running shoes. In this video, I'm going to tell you all about why I like them and why I decided to run a 100-mile race in these shoes right here. First things first, I do need to thank HOKA for sending these shoes out to me. I did not pay for them. They were sent to me so that I could review them. And boy, am I glad that HOKA sent me these shoes. Originally, I was a little bit skeptical because this is my first pair of the Mafate. I think I'm saying that right. Please do your best and correct me in the comments if I'm saying that wrong. I was a little bit like I'd seen this, like on the internet and everything, but I hadn't seen a whole lot of people wearing them, and I just wasn't really sure when I pulled them out of the box. I've run in the Speed Goats, of course. I've run in the Challengers. I've run in the Torrents. I've run in the Tecton X's. I've run in pretty much everything HOKA has for trail running. But I had yet to try the Mafate. I thought I was gonna have a lot of problems right away, and so I kind of just left them in the box for a while, and it wasn't until right before the Indiana Trail 100 that I was like, let me just try those one more time. The main thing was because of this gnarly outsole. I was really worried about getting into some pretty thick, nasty mud at the Indiana Trail 100, and so I was like, let me just try these one more time just to see if I like them, and like I said, I'm glad I pulled them back out of the box. And just a couple stats so that you can know what you're dealing with if you decide to pick this shoe up. In my size, 11.5, these weighed 11.81 ounces, which came out to 334.9 grams. There is a 4 millimeter drop from the heel to toe. If you've run in this one before, the tongue has been revamped to be a little bit more dynamic and have a little bit better ventilation. There's a rubber toe cap for extra protection from bumping into rocks and everything. The heel collar also has the new swoop design, and of course on the outsole we have the Vibram Mega Grip and light base construction. And one of the things that attracted me the most on this shoe was these lugs. They are 5 millimeter lugs, and they have HOKA's new design where it's kind of there's this step leveling with extra grip, and you also have kind of some of these cutaways here in the actual EVA foam so that you actually have a little bit more of, I guess, grip. Like some of the lugs, like if you measured them from inside here to the tip, it would be at least probably like 12 millimeters or more. So this shoe is going to give you incredible traction out there on pretty much anything. In my opinion, it's meant for long miles because it does have a lot of really good cushion in it. It's got the ProFly Plus midsole, which is kind of the dual layer. It kind of like reacts a little bit as you're going through your foot strike. It's also got this amazing traction on the outsole. So if you want more comfort and you're maybe going into some areas with like loose ground, some maybe more technical stuff, this is a good option for you. I don't really think that this is meant for going super fast though, and so that's why I'm a little bit hesitant on the speed in the name. I just think that's a little bit of a misdirect. I think this is more of a comfort shoe and something that you would want to wear in kind of bad conditions. That's just my personal opinion on this shoe right here. But let's talk about the fit. So the fit is one of the things that I initially didn't really like about this shoe. As soon as you put it on, it's really tight up around the top, and especially in the forefoot. From side to side, it actually felt like it had less room than the Speed Goat. It felt like it was just really kind of constricting, and so I put it on, did a run, and was just like, nope, not for 100 miles. Like, that's just never gonna work. But like I said, I'm glad I tried it out again, because the more I wore this shoe, the more I was realizing that this jacquard mesh upper was actually working really well with my foot, and it was flexing and stretching and moving with my foot to the point where I quickly, realized through this 100-mile race that I was not getting any blisters anywhere, and it was because it is a little bit more snug up front, but with this jacquard mesh, it moves with your foot, and you don't have a whole lot of movement from the actual skin in between the sock and this mesh layer. It's all kind of sticks right there together. So I was really, really pleased with how this fit, even though right away I thought that it was going to be way too tight and way too constrictive. The plush tongue is also really nice for long miles, and the heel cup with this heel swoop right here, the whole collar, everything about it, it's a really comfy shoe. Even though it is really tight, and even though there isn't a whole lot of volume up front, I was able to find that it really did work for me. And let's talk about the ride a little bit. I was really pleased with how this shoe ran, especially in all different speeds. The ProFly midsole really does react well to that ultra pace, where you're running a little bit slow sometimes, but then you can pick it up, and a little bit of downhills where you gain some extra speed. I just really felt like this responded really well. It's also a very flexible shoe, so if you're someone that doesn't really like the current trend where we're getting a lot of plates in trail running shoes, the Mafate Speed 4 is going to be pretty good for you. And speaking of performance, if you wear this shoe in the right conditions, that being some terrain that maybe is a little bit more loose or rocky, this shoe is going to perform really well in my opinion. I think this shoe will not do great if you have a lot of maybe pavement running in your race or your training runs. Maybe say you have to run from your house to the trail and it's a couple miles. This outsole is just going to be a little bit, you're going to be fighting it a little bit, but once you get to the trail, this outsole is going to keep you really confident and secure out there on the trails. The upper, like I said, really does flex and move with your foot. I never once had anything where I felt like it was becoming a problem during the 100 miles. It was actually pretty amazing because I normally do get blisters, and in this race I didn't get a single blister at all. Just the shoe just really, really worked for 100 miles. I thought the heel cup and the heel swoop were just really beneficial for those long miles when you get deep into the night and you're doing a lot of walking, a lot of hiking, transferring back to running. The shoe just really made it easy to kind of go back and forth, and I didn't find that any speed was really kind of like I was being held back or negative, or that it was actually hurting me in any way. I felt like all different speeds worked with this shoe. Next up, the appeal. What does it look like? Does it make you want to run when you go look at it? I actually think that this version, the orange version, is a really, really nice colorway. The scheme is great. It's a fun shoe to run in. I also have the green one, and this green and red and neon yellow, it wasn't really as inspiring as the orange. If you can get your hands on it, I would snag this one while you can. All right, now last up, the price. This shoe comes in at $185, and I'm not convinced that that is the right price for this shoe. I think it's much better suited for around $150, $155. To me, it didn't have the wow factor or any special features or anything that really drew me to it to put a $185 price tag on it. To me, it sits better in that $150, $155 range. But I think the reason why is because there are some features on here that are meant to last, specifically the really deep lugs, the Vibram outsole. You've got a rubber toe cap here. I just think that the build quality is really good, and I think this is going to last for a while. The jacquard mesh is holding up really nicely. So, I think this is going to be a shoe that lasts and a shoe that you can really count on, especially if you're doing a lot of mountain running or bad weather running, winter running right now. This is going to be a great shoe for you. I wish the shoe was just a little bit less expensive. Maybe you can find it on sale somewhere. So my final reaction, who's this shoe for, and should you buy it? In my opinion, if you're looking for something that's just going to be rock solid out there, that you're going to be able to count on, that has amazing grip, that's very comfortable, even though it's a little bit tight in the forefoot, but a shoe that really flexes with your foot and really moves and gives you a lot of freedom out there to really get through that mud or snow or bad weather. This shoe is going to be a really good shoe for you. But I would recommend, if you're in a running store, try it on, or maybe order a pair from Running Warehouse and see how they feel. This was a little bit of a surprising shoe for me. It really worked, and it's turned out to be one of my favorite trail running shoes of this past year. So if you're thinking about trying a new shoe out, maybe pick up the HOKA MAFATE Speed 4. It might just work for you. And if you have worn it, definitely leave a comment down below and let me know how it worked for you. I'd be really interested to hear that. So with that said, that's all I got for you today. HOKA MAFATE Speed 4. I really like this one. I'll see you later. Bye.